is invading the planet. They are everywhere, buying off politicians and pushing their dangerous cancer virus vaccine that's been proven, according to the CDC, with only 2% of adverse reactions being reported, that 18,000 plus people have had adverse reactions, autoimmune diseases, convulsions, narcolepsy, and even death. And the establishment has really miscalculated. They panicked in the last week when this became one of the biggest national news stories, when Michelle Bachmann and others exposed what Rick Perry was up to, along with Ron Paul. And now a bioethicist with connections to Merck has offered $10,000 reward for proof, a $10,000 reward for proof that anybody's ever been hurt by Gardasil. This is ridiculous. We showed you last night, we're going to show you tomorrow night, even more documents that the government is aware of this and what's happening. So that's coming up tomorrow evening. Continuing, though, here's the big alert. It's on the governor's desk right now. We need to just start numbering these. Say go to 1, go to 2, go to 3. Now, here's the really big news. Merck tried to get Perry to run the hoax that it was the law to take Gardasil here in Texas. And then, of course, it came out that it wasn't a law and it was all a giant hoax. So now they've actually gone to the California legislature and gotten them to pass legislation that's on the governor's desk now, awaiting signing, that makes it the law that the school can brainwash the kids, very young children, and get their consent without the parents knowing. This is just like kids can get abortions without their parents knowing, but you got to get a letter to let them go to the zoo. This is crazy. Well, now they're going to shoot your kids up with vaccines and not even ever let you know that it happened. And I've got clips of vaccine representatives and others on the news we're going to play tomorrow saying it's reasonable to shoot your kids up and not even let you know that they did it. This is absolutely amazing and is incredible tyranny. We're going to be breaking this all down. And then finally, did you know Rupert Murdoch's heavily invested in the flu shots and the H1N1 and all of the deaths and problems that that caused? Did you know a lot of other big mega media moguls are involved as well? This is a $50 billion a year industry. And it's time that we expose what these merchants of death are doing. Their vaccines don't work, and they've been linked to killing people and maiming others. It's all coming up tomorrow night.
Major concerns about a vaccine given to many teen girls this morning. Even though it could save them from cancer, parents say that the side effects of it may not be worth it. CNN Special Investigations Unit correspondent Abby Boudreau was here with more on all of this. Good morning, Abby.
Good morning, John. So many people are so confused when it comes to the widely distributed HPV vaccine called Gardasil, which the Centers for Disease Control says helps prevent certain types of cervical cancer. But since Gardasil hit the market 2.5 years ago, there's been an alarming number of serious adverse reactions and even deaths that some say are linked to the vaccine. And as more girls come forward alleging the vaccine made them sick, the more confusion and mystery there is surrounding Gardasil and its manufacturer, Merck. Jaquaria Williams doesn't get to act like a kid anymore. She's just too tired.
It kind of hurts because I used to could do a lot.
But Jaquaria's mother says everything changed last December after her daughter received Gardasil, a vaccine that prevents 70% of cervical cancer.
She's never been sick. She's never been in a hospital. Nothing until the Gardasil shot.
2 months after getting the shot, Jaquaria says she got a rash on her face and arms, leaving these scars. She had swelling all over, pain in her joints, and poor circulation in her fingertips. Her doctor told us she now suffers from an autoimmune disease and says it is possible the Gardasil triggered her illness. There have been 9,749 adverse reactions following the vaccination, and 21 reported deaths since 2006.
I chose to get my daughter vaccinated.
But Merck, Gardasil's maker, points out these are anecdotal cases. In a statement, company officials say it, quote, does not necessarily mean that the vaccine caused or contributed to the event. An official with the Centers for Disease Control says VAERS does not provide enough information for researchers to prove whether Gardasil caused any of the reported side effects.
We want to have better data to reassure people. But again, the patterns of the number of serious events looked at in VAERS do not suggest any, increase in risk.
While the CDC believes Gardasil is safe, a conservative watchdog group called Judicial Watch, which has been studying Gardasil's safety, says parents' concerns about the vaccine are valid.
So without long-term studies and without a safety test, essentially the public is being used as a large-scale public health test.
What would have happened if you would have known that this research was out there?
I would have never got it. Never. I wouldn't have never had her get the shot.
The CDC tells us it's working on a comprehensive study right now that will determine whether or not there is a pattern that links Gardasil to some of these serious side effects. That study is expected to be released in October. In the meantime, John, both the CDC and Merck encourage women to get regular pap smears even if they've gotten the Gardasil shot. John?
Yeah, Abby, we have heard in the past about potential links between certain vaccines and autism, and there was one case that was decided by a court that found that the vaccine triggered an underlying condition. Could that be the sort of case here with this vaccine, that maybe if it didn't actually cause the disease, it triggered an underlying condition to manifest itself?
It's so hard to know the answer to that, and I think that's why the CDC is looking into this, and they soon will have their comprehensive study that's going to be out this October. In the young girl's case that we talked to this time, the doctor that we talked to over the phone said it very well could have triggered her autoimmune disease, but there's just no way to really prove that.
Wow. Troubling story. Abby Boudreau for us with that this morning. Abby, thanks so much.
Thank you.
Hi, Dr. Clark here on The Place for Answers. I want to share with you today some information about how the HPV vaccine can cause blindness and stroke symptoms. And I don't really have to do any creative thinking, because there was a study published in the Journal of Child Neurology this year in which a 16-year-old girl who was previously healthy came to the emergency room after she had loss of vision. And what this article goes on to talk about and explain in extreme detail is how vaccines can really devastate your body. Now, am I telling you shouldn't get a vaccine? No, because I would be practicing medicine. I'm not telling you that. I'm telling you need to think about it. Is it worth risking? And by the way, this paper is one of many that's starting to fill up the research literature of people and women that are having demyelinating or autoimmune symptoms or other catastrophic symptoms after they get this HPV vaccine. And you should really consider it strongly. And if you're watching this because your child has had this vaccination and is suffering from it, you better find someone very quickly who can help you, that understands what's going on, understands the physiology. And the physiology is vaccines are designed to do one thing: stimulate your immune system. Now, they can do that, and some people, they respond, kind of a medium level, and the vaccine kind of does what it's designed to do. But many people, and by the way, this report says there's only been 4 cases in the literature. Well, there's a lot more cases in reality. There's a lot of girls of all ages walking around right now, the walking wounded and almost the walking dead from getting this vaccine. And it actually makes me very angry. It makes me very, very angry that this stuff is just crammed down people's throats without thinking about it. And I don't want to hear it get any posts about, well, this is a rare reaction. No, it's not. It's not a rare reaction. It's a very common reaction. There's a lot of women, a lot of girls that are suffering from getting their immune system bombarded by this vaccine. And now they have a condition that they might not ever get rid of. See, autoimmune conditions are like a light switch being flipped on. You can't turn them off. And they become very difficult. That's why my practice is full of people like this who can't go anywhere else because no one else knows what to do with them. So I guess to get off my soapbox today, if you want to read this study, it's in the Journal of Child Neurology of this year. And you can see what I'm talking about. See, that's what a lot of people don't realize is this stuff that I'm telling you, I didn't make this up. I didn't get it from some crazy, unsubstantiated, unpeer-reviewed site. This is science. You want to talk about evidence-based medicine? This is evidence-based medicine, and the evidence says that this medicine stinks.